Hey, I'm Liv.
Hi, I'm Patrick.
And I have really, really awful high cholesterol. It is hereditary, and I've been a very healthy person for a long time. Being a perpetual fat kid, I've watched what I ate since I was about 11 or 12 years old. I've done low carb, high protein, nutrient dense, toxin free for about 5 or 6 years with this guy along here. And yet still, when I had my recent cholesterol test, it was so high that I was told I need to come back in 4 months to talk about statins and get another test. My sister also has the same problem. She's extremely healthy, but she recently became vegan to try and combat it, and she's had excellent results. So I'm jumping on the bandwagon and trying the same thing.
I think it's actually sort of interesting that we eat almost exactly the same thing, and your cholesterol is high and mine is really sort of low.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things that I'm curious is to experiment with.
He's been extremely supportive, and he's trying most of it with me. I started doing this about a month ago. It was actually when we went to visit my sister, so it was really easy. She was eating that way. My mom was there. She was eating that way. And then recently we went to London for 11 days. So that was the scary thing of like going out of the country with these new eating constraints and style of eating. So I wanted to document this experience a bit. What worked, what didn't, what was a challenge for us. So if this is something that you're interested in, then stick around and see how it went. So right away we had to have dinner at the airport, so we went to Denver Central Market and they had a really good vegan wrap or vegetarian wrap. It was butternut squash and quinoa, and it was really delicious, and Patrick had something else.
Had a breakfast burrito.
But
As I said, I'm supportive. I'm doing some of it, but not always. And part of it is doing the comparison of vegan options versus regular options.
So then on the plane, I had the Asian vegetarian meal. This was said to be one of the tastier options. It was actually amazing. It was lentils and artichoke and spinach. The cheese makes it not vegan.
And mine was just regular old chicken that you get on an airplane.
And then there was a snack, which was pretty boring. It was like chobani yogurt and a bagel or something like that. And I think Patrick's was similar. I don't think we got a photo.
I got a turkey croissant or something like that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Looks like McDonald's.
There it is. Turkey and egg. Or no, it was just egg, I think. I don't know.
The really good thing for us was that my entire family in London is vegetarian. So when we were staying with them, we got to have a bunch of picnics outside. We had lots of salad, lots of falafel. Those are vegetarian burgers. They're amazing. Like that entire meal, at least our side of the table, was vegetarian. She's vegetarian, that's my cousin. And then he's not vegetarian, and Patrick was enjoying some of the traditional South African bratwurst.
I had like 2 bites of non-vegetarian. Everything else I just went ahead and went along with the vegetarian stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was delicious. Like I didn't feel like I missed anything.
Especially not the fish and chips that we had. It's so enormous, and like that's the chips. Okay, so there's oil there. This is definitely not Ornish friendly, but. And then we went to Patrick's old town of Littleport, and I was really surprised that we found this little coffee shop that had both a vegan and a vegetarian option. I was a little envious of Patrick's food.
I had sausage and eggs, so.
It looked pretty delicious, but I had spinach and mushrooms, and it was tasty. It was really tasty, actually. But how cool is that? This tiny little place, tiny little town that had these kind of options.
And then we saw.
It was so cute.
It was a tractor parade.
And they were actually waving at everyone as they went by.
And there's a dog across the street that was not interested at all because he was waiting for his owner to come out of the co-op.
Oh, he was so cute. Look how excited he gets. Oh, is it you? No. And this was a place we went with my cousin, and that is that was a shakshuka.
Yeah, that was my shakshuka.
Mine was a vegan.
Pita.
Yeah, vegan pita. It was delicious. Oh, this was overlooking the Thames at the Tate Museum. We had scones and jam. I don't think scones are vegan, but it was amazing.
And the cream is not.
The cream is not, but that was a delicious splurge. Oh, so good. And then we liked it so much we had to have it again the next day, but that was at the Victoria and Albert. And this is an amazing little sanctuary, and they actually had vegetarian wraps there that you get as well. And just such a great place.
That was on the table, you could see.
Yeah.
And that was pretty good. It was neat to see that there was those options.
This was at a Turkish restaurant that we found. Patrick's is not vegetarian, but mine was a huge plate of vegetarian falafel and peppers. And this was an Indian restaurant that we went to. It was actually really cool because it was fashioned after an old train station. The beverages were amazing and delicious. So we didn't actually get a chance to photograph any of the food, but it was all like lentils. Do you remember it?
Yeah, it was typical Indian food. So there's a lot of lentils, chickpeas, sweet potato, curry. So I thought it was all delicious. I didn't do any meat, especially because we were going to be sharing, and it just makes it easier when you're sharing with vegetarians not to have to worry about it. And again, I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything.
We had a lot of naan. Oh, that was so good. And this was a French restaurant we went to, and I think we both sort of accidentally picked the vegetarian option because it was so delicious. It was a artichoke?
Delicious and inexpensive. Mine was artichoke and
quinoa.
Zucchini and quinoa, or not quinoa.
Couscous.
Couscous.
Oh, and this was banana tree, and I didn't get a photo of it, but we went for lunch with a friend, and that is a Singapore laksa with tofu. It's so good. And in the same area, this was West Hampstead. They had a chocolate shop with vegan truffles. This was actually the wedding food, and this was the vegetarian option. That's one of the amazing things about the wedding is you can say you're vegetarian oftentimes. That was the dessert. Oh, so good. And then we're back on the plane. That was yours.
Yeah, but that was cheese ravioli, so it was actually vegetarian but not vegan.
And mine was just like before, another lentil stew, really delicious. And my snack on the plane was just a bean burrito and an apple.
Yeah, and I had it was like a rolled up pizza, so it was, again, vegetarian but not vegan.
Oh, and also Magnum ice cream for some reason. You got a Magnum and I got an apple. But that's kind of awesome. Like, I definitely had the healthy option.
But we asked if we got more ice cream.
Yeah, we actually got like 4 of them. They just gave us a whole bunch. All in all, it was really, really successful. I found the UK to be extremely vegetarian and vegan friendly, and Patrick had some thoughts about that.
Yeah, I think a couple of things. One, it's an island, and meat there seems to be more expensive than in the States. So maybe that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are more into vegetarian, vegan options. And I think it's sort of like that American thing of like we want our hamburgers and steaks and things like that, and that's not necessarily as built into the culture. I was sort of surprised because a lot of times in the U.S. when you go with vegan or vegetarian, it's almost like, oh, here's some grass for you to graze on. They had a lot of really good options, and like I said, a couple of times I chose the vegetarian vegan option just because it seemed delicious and it was cheap, and it's what I wanted.
And this is totally something that was available everywhere. Like, we went to Camden Market, which is a place that I used to go ages ago when I wasn't vegetarian. And I remember there was like lots of fried food and lots of different cultures and big pots of food getting stirred and pizzas and things like that. And yet when we were in the center area, there were vegetarian and vegan restaurants all over.
And another bonus that we discovered, and I heard about this, but it's actually true. So like if you go with the special menu option on the airplane, vegetarian or vegan, you get your meal first. So it's another bonus, especially if you're trying to get on a plane, get your meal, and then go to sleep on like an 8-hour flight. You get your meal first and you can go ahead and snooze while the rest of us are still getting served.
It's not a great thing if you're the kind of person that feels rude if you start eating and so you wait for people anyways. So not having tried any of the other vegetarian meals on the plane, I would still give this a definite thumbs up. I will absolutely order this next time. And even if I wasn't vegetarian, I probably would. I mean, the food actually felt like kind of healthy and tasty and well spiced and things like that, which is not what you expect for an airplane meal.
Yeah, it always looked interesting. And one of the reasons why I went with the normal one, I wanted to test to see the difference between the speed of delivery. Plus, I just wanted to show like, this is what a vegan meal or vegetarian meal looks like. This is what a regular meal looks like. So we can sort of see the quality level. And I thought it was always on par or actually slightly better. Like stuff like curry looks really delicious versus rubber chicken breast that's been heated 4 times or something.
Anyways, if you have any experience traveling as a vegetarian or vegan in any country, we would love to hear about it. If you have any tips and tricks and things like that, please let us know down below too. Thanks so much for hanging out. If this video was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up and do stick around and subscribe.
Yeah.